The V71 has got two main mixers. We've got the one on the front of the desk here, the physical sliders, but inside we've got the digital mixer. This is how you're going to set each kit's volumes. If I press the mixer button, you're going to see this screen appears here. What I've got is each of the drums along the top here. I can scan through the different drums, and what I'm going to be able to do in here is I can adjust the physical volume of that drum, but also the pan. To adjust the volume, all we do is we select and we go up and down to change that volume. The best way of doing that is literally play the drum kit, see what you think sounds too loud, too quiet, and have a little adjust. Some of this key here that most people miss out are the left and right locations of your cymbals. The human ear is really, really adept at understanding where a noise is coming from. One of the best ways of setting up your kit is sit down, sit in the middle, make sure you can reach your module, and literally go across each drum, closing your eyes. At the moment, this one here says L3, so I'll close my eyes, I'll hit the drum, and I'll see if I can figure out when my eyes close exactly where it feels like this drum should be. So if I close my eyes, I hit the drum, I move left, that's far left, sounds like it's coming from there, and I go all the way back across until it's all the way over there on the right. And I just move around until I feel like where I'm hitting is exactly where the sound is coming from. In this case, L4. Now that's because I'm using speakers here. With headphones on, it's going to be slightly different. My speakers here, look, are going to be slightly offset. With a set of headphones, this may be R1. But if you see it, some cymbals are easier to do than the others, something like the ride cymbal. Also use these buttons down here to do this. So that sounds like it's coming from behind me almost. And that's left. And you'll find by doing this, it'll feel much more like you're actually sat at a real kit hitting those cymbals and those toms. Okay, what else have we got in this mixer? We've got minimum volume. You need to understand what this is. When you get on an acoustic drum kit, when you tap the drum, there's a certain amount of decibels that drum instantly starts at. So in other words, an acoustic snare drum is a loud instrument. When I tap it, it may start a lot louder than some of the ones that are set up in here. Now this snare, for instance, is too quiet. So what I do is I go into here, I select the snare, and I set the minimum volume to be a lot louder. So now at the moment it's starting at 15, even if I tap it, there's a certain amount of volume being generated. Now that's a bit too much. And we go around the drums, doing that for each of the drums and also for the cymbals. Now at the moment that cymbal is a bit too loud compared to everything else, so again I go back to here, I hit the ride cymbal and I bring the volume of that down until I feel it's just right. We've also got in here kit volume. Kit volume is where I adjust the physical level of each kit. What you'll start to find when you play on your drum kit and you go from one kit to the next, to the next, to the next, some kits will suddenly be way louder than others. Well, that's your chance to go in and adjust that volume look so that they're all the same. So as you flick through your kits, they're all nicely tuned to each other. Now, I said there was two mixers on here. Well, that's because we've also got this physical mixer at the front. What is that purpose? Well, the purpose of that is literally designed for when you're taking this from one gig to another gig, from one room to another room, so you can adjust. What happens is when you're in a corner like I'm in here, we get a lot of low end. So what happens when I get to the gig is maybe my bass drum is too loud if I'm in a corner like this. Maybe we've got a PA at one gig where there's no bass bins, so I need to turn the kick up. Maybe the next gig there's 50 bass bins, and so maybe I need to adjust things. Well, this is that. We adjust things on the fly. If I want more reverb, more of ambience, I turn it up. Maybe I'm in a room that's really ambient already, so I turn it all the way down. So with these mixers on here, try and keep them flat when you're setting up your kits in here, and then only start to move them to fine tune for each environment you're playing in.